What's good, y'all? Silas Kamui here, and I'm back with another video. And today I'm gonna talk about the wealth transfer that's happening right now, literally in this moment. People don't even realize that it's happening. So I want to talk about that and show y'all how to actually get on the right side of this. I guess I got my swagger back. So something that a lot of people are not realizing right now is that wealth, a massive amount of wealth, is being transferred from one class of people to another class literally every single day, and it's happening right in front of your eyes. Literally, it's all around you. You can see the writing on the wall. It's happening. Rich are getting richer, poor are getting poorer. Why is this happening? It's because of inflation. Now, if we all think back to, fifth grade social studies class or high school economics, we should have learned about inflation. If school taught you anything, besides Christopher Columbus sold those from blue in 1942, whatever he did, besides that, you should have learned about inflation. Inflation is essentially the rise in prices due to the fall of purchasing power of money or of dollars in the United States. Now, we all know inflation has been a thing, right? But what we don't know is how much it's actually affecting literally everyday people. I promise, if you went onto a random street and surveyed 100 people, more than 51 of those people, meaning a majority of those people, will not know that the dollars in their pocket or the digits on the screen of their bank account are losing purchasing power, that those dollars will be weaker next year than they are today. Inflation has always been a thing, right? You can go look at the ancient even civilizations. Inflation was a thing, right? But in the United States, especially over the last 13 years, ever since 2008, when the government started, printing money, injecting money into the economy at a much higher rate, right, to save the precious economy after, the housing crisis of 2008, inflation has picked up significantly, whether you realize it or not. But over the last year specifically, right, ever since March of 2020, we know what happened in March of 2020. I'm not gonna say it because I don't want to get demonetized, but ever since then, inflation has picked up significantly, right? Because the government has printed more money in the last year than they've printed in 1 year ever in the history of the world, right? Nearly 20% of the dollars that are circulating the economy right now, circulating the American financial system, were put into circulation in 2020. 20% of those dollars, meaning all the dollars that existed prior to March of 2020 are now significantly weaker. If you look at the M1 money stock, which is essentially one of the measures of the supply of money in the US economy, then you could see right before, in March of 2020, there was a nearly $4 trillion in that money stock. A year later, February 2021, there's now over $20 trillion in this money stock. And the Fed has the nerve to say that this isn't going to cause inflation. It's literally economics. If there's more of something circulating anywhere, if there's more of anything, that thing is now worth less. So why wouldn't this cause inflation? And in fact, if it didn't cause inflation, why did they discontinue reporting the numbers in the M1 and the M2 money stock? Why can't we know how many dollars are now in the economy? And again, there's people that like to believe for some reason that inflation isn't real. Look, it's not about whether you believe it or not. Look at the reality of the matter. Why are companies increasing prices of their products and blaming it on rising commodity costs? Coca-Cola saying they're increasing prices on their drinks. Procter & Gamble, which literally makes most of the things you see in a grocery store, diapers, toilet soap, deodorant, toothpaste, they're increasing prices on their products, right? Why are these companies reporting that they have to increase prices? It's because those commodities that they use to make those products are becoming more expensive due to inflation. So now they have to increase their prices so that they can still be profitable. But see, why is that a big deal? Why do I care that peanut butter or Coke or diapers or toothpaste or deodorant is going to be more expensive? It's because a majority of people, a majority of Americans are spending a majority of their income and their budget on these items, things that do not inherently increase in value. They can only decrease in value because they have to be consumed. So that means all these people are becoming poorer and poorer because a majority of their income is going to things that cannot make them wealthier. And on top of that, wages haven't increased in decades. So now they're working just as hard. In fact, they're working harder, right, for actually less money. But you see, you know why this is really important? It's because inflation doesn't discriminate. Inflation doesn't care whether it's an item that increases in value or if it's an item that decreases in value. That item is going to take more dollars to purchase in the future. So what does that mean? That means if a majority of that income was going to assets that increase in value, these poor people will be becoming wealthier. But in fact, they're not. So who's becoming wealthier? It's the wealthy, the people that are already rich, because a majority of their expendable income is not getting consumed. It's not being spent on consumption. It's getting invested. It's getting used to purchase things that are going to inherently increase in value, right? If you look at the S&P 500 over the last year, ever since this rampant money printing pretty much began, it's up over 50% in a year. Real estate prices, median home price is up 15%. Look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin is up 500% in the past year, right? All these things, these assets, it's not the fact that these things are getting better, right? The stock market, these companies aren't necessarily improving. These homes in real estate aren't necessarily getting better. It's the same homes. It's the fact that these dollars are losing value, so it takes more of them to buy anything. Whether that's something that decreases in value like peanut butter or diapers or toothpaste, or something that increases in value like Apple stock or a duplex or, you know, a Bitcoin. Like I said, inflation doesn't discriminate. Inflation doesn't care. So whatever you have your money in is going to determine whether you are getting poorer or wealthier. So because the middle class and the poor are spending a majority of their income on things that are inherently losing value, because, you know, if you're only making, you know, $5,000 a month, a majority of that is going to go to things that, you know, you need in order to survive, right? As opposed to wealthy people that are making a lot more money, a majority of their income is going into things that are increasing in value. So the poor continue to get poorer while the rich continue to get richer. One of my favorite quotes that I've heard is, inflation is the surest way to fertilize the rich man's field with the sweat from the poor man's brow. So what's the answer to hedge inflation for the everyday person? You need to consume as little as possible and invest as much as possible, because you are getting poorer if you're not investing. Even if you think you're in a good financial position, if you are not investing, you're getting poorer. So the little wealth that the poor people have is being stripped from them because of inflation and transferred to the wealthy. This is why the wealth gap continues to widen, because the poor have no investable assets. They're only consuming, while the wealthy have a majority of their money in investable assets. They don't have anything in a bank account. They don't use a majority of their income to buy diapers and toothpaste and household necessities. You see how messed up that sounds? It's messed up, isn't it? This is why you need to be equipped with the knowledge on how to invest. Because if you're not, you're getting poor. Whether you like it or not, whether you think you know about what's going on or not, you don't if you don't have anything invested. If you don't own any real estate, if you don't own any Bitcoin, if you don't own any stocks. Heck, if you don't own sports cards, if you don't own anything that is inherently going to increase in value, you are getting poorer. So anyways, I hope y'all understand why this is so important. I had to come on here and talk about it again because I don't think y'all got it the first time I talked about this in a couple of videos ago. So now if you've watched this video, you know. There's no excuse now. Whatever you can invest needs to be getting invested. Anyways, that's it for this one. If you gained something of value from it, hit that thumbs up button for the YouTube algorithm so that they know that this is good content that needs to get pushed out there and shared some more. But other than that, I'll see y'all in the next one.